good one between the Chicago Bears and the Oakland Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A first down throw for Mariota. Able to find Shaheen here. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Chicago! David Montgomery, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Khalil Mack, of course, the former Raider, there to make the tackle.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check right in.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now a play fake, and it's long. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on third down, and you make the home crowd go.
It was a hush indeed. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They want this. One. Get. Hey, turn it up. Jim.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Finding Gabriel complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 38. Here's Mariota. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 31 yards there and a 1st down. For the Raiders last year, they were 25th in the league in rushing, and a good reason why they used one of their 3 first-round picks on Jacobs for runs like we just saw. Jacobs was the first running back taken in this year's draft, 24th overall. That was actually the pick that was originally acquired from the Chicago Bears in that Khalil Mack trade. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, box truck.
Out of the gun, block. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The sack there by Roquan Smith. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. The kick by Carlson is good. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season, I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
He got 29 yards that time. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. That's complete to Robinson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. On second down now. It's Cohen. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Off the play fake, Mariota. Looking deep for Gabriel. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big pickup of 38. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. First down, a run with Cohen. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 4th touchdown on the year, as the Bears push further out in front. No problem there on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. 675.
From the gun, here's Love. He's going to air one out. It's caught at the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. As his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On second down, it's Cohen, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing, Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sand. Maurice Hurst in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
55, Mike 3. Bandit. Mike 55, Mike 55. Check that.
Throwing on second and long. Mariota, he's going to wind up and air it out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. On 1st and 10, Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Switch gears.
Luck now to throw. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
You gotta be afraid of me. 58 to Mike, 58 to Mike.
Play action, it's Locke. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line. Luck throwing again. And that is intercepted by the All-Pro safety, Eddie Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Final play of the half here. Mariota gonna let one fly for Robinson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a catch. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game. I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he? I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Bears take over first down at their own 18-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
I got it. That's mine. I got it. Check 15.
Now Mariota. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Eric Harris who picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, it's Love. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Darren Waller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 17-14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He's got his tight end, Burton. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Check 37, check 37. Check.
On the handoff, it's Cohen. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
49, check 49.
On 2nd and 2, Mariota, the screen pass here to Cohen. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, they go right back to Cohen. Vontez Burfict, the one to get him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mariota. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Taylor Gabriel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Locke. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Welcome back now here in London. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Luck now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
This is Cohen. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. Yeah, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bathema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell them to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
And Robinson with a big catch. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down. Quick pass out to Miller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Mariota. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. From the 50, it's Love. Got his man, it's Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A. where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing is Love. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They come out here in the eye. Only way to get get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it'll be second and goal.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck, and the Raiders have retaken the lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. On 2nd and 15 now. Mariota. It's complete to Robinson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
He'll look to throw. Robinson's got it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. They'll run on first down. Cohen. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen in the final minute. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You draw quarter. Bravo.
Luck now to throw. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's back to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Luck. Now a desperation throw deep, and he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. One last shot now for Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You see me? You see me?
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Oakland, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the calendar changed October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
tell me what you want.